Sometimes, even when everything is fine, something keeps breaking inside, like a slight crack, which is not visible, but is felt day and night. You are among people, but loneliness keeps getting deeper. You even smile, but that smile feels like a burden. The outside world looks at you and says, "Everything is fine, why are you worried?" But how can it know that restlessness has no face? It has no voice. It just stays with you, in every thought, in every sleep, in every breath. And we call it anxiety, a fear that is not understood, an uncomfortable feeling that is neither visible nor spoken, but is with you every moment. People say, be strong, move forward, don't think so much. But has anyone ever said, sit and feel? This is what Buddha said. He said, whatever you look at carefully, the fear of it disappears. Anxiety is not an enemy. It is a message coming from within you. It is something that now wants to be seen, wants to be heard. But what do? We run away from it. We suppress it. We try to distance ourselves from ourselves. But the more we run away from it, the closer it comes to us. Because no pain is relieved until it is understood. And this is where our journey begins. And this journey is not from outside, but inwards, a journey where there is no fight. There is no victory or defeat. There is just one thing. Look carefully. In this video, we will understand why anxiety comes. What she wants to show is how, by following the path of Buddhist meditation and compassion, we can transcend fear instead of fighting it. Because peace does not come when you run away from fear. Rather, peace comes when you learn to look into the eyes of fear, and when you truly understand it. Then anxiety also starts melting slowly. Let us now begin that journey, which does not start from outside, but from within you. Point number 1, anxiety isn't your enemy, it's a messenger. Life's biggest problems often become our greatest lessons. But in the beginning, that confusion seems like just a pain. Sometimes it suddenly makes you breathe faster. Sometimes your heart starts pounding as if something bad is going to happen. And sometimes you can't sleep at night, but there is no external reason. Even when everything is fine, something is constantly breaking inside. This is the symptom of anxiety, a fear that comes to you but doesn't say anything. It just fills your breath. It makes your shoulders heavy. It creates a stir in your mind without any noise. We want to stop it. We want to get rid of it. We need some medicine, some book, some advice, just something that will stop it. But have you ever stopped and thought that this restlessness has come only to make you stop? Maybe it has come not to break you, but to unite you from that part of you which you had left many years ago. When you stop listening to your own pain, it slowly takes the form of restlessness. It slowly threads itself into your heartbeats so that you stop, see, and understand. Anxiety is not an enemy. It is a mirror, which is showing that there is something inside that now wants to be seen. Maybe some incomplete emotion, some forgotten sorrow, or some suppressed experience, which now wants to wake up. Buddha had said, whatever is clashing with you is calling you inside. But what do? We want to remove that clash. We fight with our own experiences, and this fight deepens our anxiety. If a child is crying repeatedly, and you keep trying to pacify him, will he calm down? Maybe for a while, but his fear will remain inside. Anxiety is also like this. It is the scared child inside you, and it is saying, listen to me, understand me, don't run away from me. So the next time when you feel a stir inside, when the heartbeat suddenly becomes fast, when breathing feels heavy, then pause for a moment and ask yourself what is hidden behind this anxiety. You may not get the answer immediately, but healing begins in that question itself. Because healing does not happen when you run away from pain. Healing happens when you start understanding pain. And slowly, as understanding increases, anxiety also starts changing its form. It is no longer fear, it becomes your language. It is this understanding that transforms fear into compassion, anxiety into peace, and restores lost confidence. So the next time anxiety knocks on the door, don't chase it away. Open the door, sit down and say, come, I am ready to listen to you carefully. Point number 2, the 3 poisons, the hidden roots of fear. Have you ever thought that our anxiety is not just an emotion, It is a result. Just like the branches of a tree are visible on the top, but their roots are hidden deep under the soil. Anxiety is also like that. On the surface, it looks like anxiety, fear, confusion, but inside there is something else, something that is not visible, but is sitting at the root. Buddha explained it very accurately. He said the root of every suffering of the mind is hidden in 3 poisonous seeds: greed, hatred, and attachment. Greed, for example, we want to have something, control, stability, assurance of the future, but life is never stable. Yet we keep holding on to people, to relationships, to expectations, and as soon as those things do not go our way, anxiety arises in our mind. We say, why is everything not happening according to my wish? But does life ever go according to anyone's wish? The more we try to hold on to things, the more fear and anxiety take root in us. Hatred, for example, we run away from the truth that we don't like. An emotion that hurts, we suppress it. A person who arouses anger in us, we start hating him. And gradually we start a war with our own experiences. But this war is not going to be won, because what you run away from does not leave you, but sits inside. And then that hatred comes out as anxiety, like an unknown nervousness, which does not give a reason, but takes away peace. Attachment, this is the deepest and the most silent root. We do not even know ourselves, we just experience our thoughts, our feelings, our fears, but we don't see them. We live in the illusion that what is outside is our reality, but the reality is not outside, it is inside us. And when we are unaware of this inner world, anxiety shakes us and says, look, we can't live in ignorance any longer. Buddha said, when you recognize these 3 poisons, only then do you start to become free for the first time. And really, when we are able to see what is the cause of our anxiety, that anxiety slowly starts to turn into reality. Understanding greed brings surrender, seeing hatred brings compassion, and going beyond attachment brings awakening. So the next time fear arises from within, don't just look at the symptoms, recognize the root, and ask yourself, am I holding on to something that is going to go away? Am I rejecting something that wants to be seen? Am I turning away from the truth? These are the 3 questions, the 3 doors. And beyond these doors, there is a sky where the mind is at peace, because it now understands that the root of fear is not fear, but ignorance. And when the light comes, darkness disappears on its own. Point number 3, what you cling to clings to you. Many times we think that peace is something that can be found, grasped, and then kept safely. But in reality, it is as impossible to hold peace as you want to capture the wind blowing in your palm. The tighter you hold an emotion, the faster it slips from your hands. Think about it. Have you ever held a piece of ice in your hand? If you hold it gently, its coldness stays with you for a few moments. But as soon as you hold it tightly out of fear, it starts melting faster between your fingers. This is also true of our lives. We hold on to relationships, identities, future plans, and assume that if I have all this, I will be safe. But life never stays with anyone. It changes every moment, and you can never hold on to anything that changes. And this holding gradually turns into fear. You see, when you hold on to a person tightly for fear of losing him, does that relationship deepen? No, rather it starts moving away even further. When you make excessive plans for the future, and then it doesn't go according to your wishes, do you find peace? No, on the contrary, a hidden restlessness keeps gnawing at you from within every day. Buddha had said, whatever you hold on to tightly holds you, your peace, your freedom. We think that we are getting safe by holding on to something, but in reality, we ourselves get locked in an invisible prison. This prison is not external, it is internal, and its door opens only when we accept that sometimes letting go is the greatest courage. When you let go of hatred, expectations, results, life slowly takes you to where you always wanted to go. But the habit of holding on was holding you back. Buddha called it attachment, which is the biggest root of all suffering in life. So the next time you feel afraid, when you feel anxious, ask yourself a deep question. Am I holding on to any illusion that has become a burden for me? Because holding on to something that is not yours is only inviting suffering. As soon as you let go of that hold, a new silence is born, in which there is no fear of losing, and no need to make everything your way. This is true self-surrender. And this is the moment when anxiety starts melting away. Point number 4, awareness is the antidote. Often when anxiety arises within us, we want to face it with a sword, as if a war has started. We want to end that restlessness, suppress it, drive it away. But have you ever thought that perhaps this fight is not needed? Buddha says, do not stop or hold on to the thoughts that arise. Just watch as a meditative witness does. Your anxiety, your restlessness, your fears, they are not enemies. They are just some momentary clouds which are floating in the sky of the mind. But what do you do? As soon as a negative thought comes, you start fighting it. And the more you fight it, the stronger that thought returns. Now just imagine there is a calm lake and a pebble falls in it. Waves form in it, then they calm down on their own. But if you try to stop that wave or throw more pebbles in it, will it ever calm down? No, the same thing happens with the mind. Every time you fight anxiety, you add more turmoil within you. But if you just watch that thought, that fear, without any judgment, like a silent meditator watching the waves rising within him, then something magical starts happening. That fear, that restlessness, slowly loses its effect. Because now you are not its victim, now you have become its witness. And by becoming a witness, you start touching that place within you, which is beyond all these emotions. That place is calm, unshakable, and infinite. When you try to stop anxiety, you get entangled with it. But when you just feel it with attention, without calling it right or wrong, then that feeling slowly starts evaporating like steam. This is awareness, and this is the medicine that starts melting away anxiety from its roots, without making noise, without fighting. You don't have to win over your thoughts. All you have to do is sit with them, listen to them, watch them, and then slowly you will start feeling yourself separate from them. That is the moment when anxiety starts melting away, because you are no longer a victim, but an awakened witness. Point number 5, stories of suffering and transformed. Buddha had no magic, no miraculous powers, and no priceless medicine. Yet whoever came to him crying left feeling lighter. Because Buddha didn't just talk, he knew how to turn suffering into transformation. Have you heard the story of that mother, Gautam? She had only one son, a tiny one, and one day he suddenly died. Kisa's life seemed to stop. She would go to every door, tell every sage, "My son has died. Give me a remedy to bring him back to life." People would laugh, become silent, but that mother was not ready to give up. And then someone told her, "You go to Buddha. He will definitely help you." Buddha listened to her with great love and said, "Yes, I can bring your son back to life. But first you have to do one thing. You go and bring a handful of mustard seeds from a house where no one has died." Kisa Gautami ran, went to the first house, then the second, then the third, but got the same answer from every house. Here too someone has lost someone. And that day that mother realized the sorrow is not just hers. Pain is a part of every life. And at that very moment tears were flowing from her eyes, but now they were not a burden. Now that pain was not just pain, it had become a light. Then came another name, Angulimala, the one who had killed 999 people. At one time, people used to tremble on hearing his name. But when he saw the Buddha, when the light of compassion and forgiveness fell in his eyes, he stopped. The one who used to wander in the forest was now meditating. The one who had taken away life from people was now teaching the meaning of life. Buddha did not just forgive him, he saw him, he recognized the potential light within him. And the one who was considered a demon is still revered as a monk in Buddhist texts. These are not just stories. These are proofs that suffering can become a path. The suffering that is breaking you has perhaps come to unite you with yourself. The anxiety that is gripping you today may want to show you some depth within you, which you have been ignoring till now. Buddha used to say, the same suffering that takes you to darkness, if seen with awareness, becomes the door to light. So don't underestimate your experience. Don't treat your anxiety as an enemy. because every great journey often begins from a broken place. And maybe your anxiety is the beginning of your journey. Point number 6, loving kindness, turning toward your fear with compassion. When fear arises within us, our first instinct is to remove it. We ignore fear, try to suppress it, or run away from it. But the more we run from it, the more it follows us. Sometimes in thoughts, sometimes in body tremors, and sometimes in a restlessness that cannot be put into words. Buddha showed us a different way, a way that feels like a revolution. Don't fight fear. Give love to fear. There is a special practice in Buddhist meditation called metta bhavana, i.e., loving kindness meditation. In this, we first send loving wishes to ourselves, like may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be free from fear, may I be peaceful and at ease. Then we gradually spread these feelings towards others, towards our loved ones, towards strangers, and then even towards our enemies. But there comes a stage further where we send this love to our fear. Imagine that your fear is not a terrible monster, but a wounded child, sitting in a corner and trembling, who has never been heard, who has never received love. Now imagine, you go to that scared child, put your hand on his head and say, I am seeing you. I know you are in pain, and I am with you. What happens then? The fear that was lying alone in the darkness till now slowly starts melting. Because fear did not need to compete with you, it needed to be accepted by you. When we sit near fear, wipe its tears, then it hugs us and calms down. This is the power of friendship. By loving fear, not suppressing it, we take ourselves from darkness to light. And slowly the same fear, which was once a storm within us, now seems like a broken child who just wanted someone to understand him and accept him. When you can say to yourself, I am afraid, and that is okay, I am giving myself love, then you start moving towards true peace. Fear will remain afraid as long as you look at it as a stranger. But the day you accept it as a part of your own heart, that very day it will become your deepest teacher. Point number 7, the breath is your anchor. Have you ever noticed that whenever life is unstable, when the mind is trembling with fear, when the anxiety of the future starts beating the heart faster, or when there is a rift with a loved one, what is the first thing that goes awry? Your breath. That which has been with you every moment since childhood, without stopping, without asking, suddenly gets entangled in the shadow of fear. And we are not even able to feel it, because our attention is somewhere else, drowned in the sea of thoughts. Buddha had said, one who knows the breath knows the mind. This is not a simple sentence. There is a secret hidden in it, a secret which is neither in any medicine nor in any world. It is only in this moment, and the key to this moment is your breath. Just close your eyes, no imagination, no mantra, just feel your breath. How it is going in, then stopping for a while, then coming out, just like waves come and go. The thing to notice is that the breath never runs away. When every relationship in the world is lost, when everything is unstable, the breath is still there. When you are crying, when you are broken, when everything is taken away, it is still with you. Your own breath. And it is not just a bodily process, it is a door that takes you to a place where there is no fear, no anxiety, where there is only this moment. And it is this moment in which peace resides. What we call anxiety is based on the imagination of the future. It is never here now. Now there is only the breath, sometimes slow, sometimes deep, sometimes trembling, but still true. So what Buddha taught is not just meditation, it is an invitation. Just like a mother calls out to her child, come back, everything will be fine. Similarly, the breath calls us. When you start observing the breath, you start observing life. And observing life is meditation. This is not a religion, not a creed, this is your existence. Every time the mind runs away, every time restlessness arises, every time the heart says, I cannot bear it anymore, do nothing, just sit down and take a breath. Deep, aware, loving. Every breath says, I am with you. Every breath says, this too shall pass. Every breath says, Peace is not somewhere outside. I am peace. So the next time when everything seems to be falling apart from outside, when the world is pulling you and everything seems to be breaking from within, do just one thing: breathe. And realize that even in the midst of a storm, there is a place within you where everything is still, calm. That place is beyond your breath. Your breath is the bridge that takes you from anxiety to consciousness. Just hold that bridge and start walking, because every time you cross this bridge, your soul will say, I am not afraid anymore, because I have learned to breathe. Point number 8, let go and peace will find you. When we are anxious, our first natural instinct is to push it away. We panic, and then we tire ourselves out even more to fix that anxiety. We think, I must be okay right now. We fight the turmoil within us. But have you ever noticed, as we fight that anxiety, it grows more and more? Like a child who is scared of his mother's anger and starts crying louder, our mind also becomes more and more out of control when we try to control it. Buddha told a simple truth: whatever arises also passes away. This was not a dry theory, it was a deeply observed truth of every moment of life. Every emotion, every thought, every experience, everything is temporary. What is here today will not be there tomorrow. This body, this mind, this world, everything is dynamic. It is just us who want to hold on to them, and that is where restlessness is born. When we try to hold on to suffering, it grows. When we fight fear, it deepens. But as soon as we start looking at it and start saying, okay, you can come too, then something miraculous happens. The restlessness that was choking us till now slowly starts melting. There is no magic here. It is just the art of letting go of resistance. Because the moment you let go of that inner conflict, peace comes to you on its own. Think about it. When we hold something tightly, like sand in our fists, it comes out faster. But when we open our hands, the same sand slowly settles in our palms. The mind is also like that. When you stop forcing anything from life and accept it as it is, life starts giving. Peace is not a reward that comes after a struggle. It is a natural result when you stop fighting, when you stop insisting that I should be fine, when you do not try to stop the turmoil of your mind, but just watch it without judgment, without resistance. Then a silence descends inside. No noise, no questions, no why, no how long. Just a deep silence which says everything without saying anything. That now everything is fine. That silence, that surrender, that letting go, that is the first breath of real peace. So the next time your mind wavers, do not try to hold it. Just sit, watch, and say softly, I will not stop you. You can come. And you can go. I am not fighting now, I am accepting now. And see how peace finds you at that very moment. If this video has touched your heart even a little, if at any moment you felt that yes, this is what I was feeling, then do not keep it to yourself. Maybe someone like you is sitting alone somewhere right now and is breaking down inside. It is important for him to hear this too. So please share this video with someone close to you who is struggling right now, is restless, and is looking for a way out. And if you have not liked the video yet, then please do like it and tell us in the comments what you learned from this journey. And yes, for more such healing videos, do not forget to subscribe to ATD Tales channel. Thank you.